best 1989 movie ever called Tango and Cash. Actually, it's the second to the last movie that was made in that was released in 1989. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one was a big box office hit called Away by Steven Spielberg. We got to do that one because this one, I don't know. All right, Tango and Cash stars Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell, Jack Palance, and Terry Hatcher, and just about every actor that has ever played a thug, a cop, a drug dealer, or a karate expert in any 80s movie is also in this movie.
It didn't have Endo.
They didn't have Endo.
Endo was the number one henchman.
Cutting room floor. That ended up on the cutting room floor. Okay. So it actually had 3 directors, and unfortunately I didn't write all 3 of them down because this is one of those movies that went into production hell, and there's tons of backstory, fun stuff and we lost.
And we're back.
And we're back. Okay. All right, it had an IMDb. Apparently people like this movie. I don't, but other people do. It got a 6.4 IMDb. It has a Rotten Tomatoes of 30%, so maybe, not everybody liked it either. And it has a Walmart rating of 4.8 out of 5. So everybody at Walmart loves this movie.
Because they'll get it with a pack of eggs.
So, the premise of the movie is there's 2 top cops in the narcotics division in LA. They don't work in the same area. One's an uptight stockbroker, played by Sylvester Stallone, that just is a cop because it's exciting. Because he doesn't need the money, apparently. And the other one is just a rough and tumble Kurt Russell, who just is like pretty much every role he's ever played, except this time he's a cop. And they have to go up against Jack Palance, and I'm not sure if Jack Palance actually did this movie after he did Batman, because he seems to taken a cue from Jack Nicholson's Joker playing the drug dealer Kingpin in this movie. Just some crazy nut job with a couple of lackeys that think that they're pretty cool. There's some explosions. They get set up, thrown in jail. They break out of jail. Terry Hatcher plays Sylvester Stallone's sister. And then Kurt Russell, of course, has to date her because she's the only hot chick in this movie. Oh, and we get to see Kurt Russell in drag. There you have it. Tango and Cash, folks. So, guys, I don't even know where to go with this because obviously my disdain for the movie is very strong. But Nate, what do you think?
I was thinking of watching our live stream again to try to go back and find out who the hell it was that made us watch this movie, because it was so bad. Like, the only redemption was like the club scene where you got to see the girls behind the doors just sauntering around topless. But other than that, man, it was horrible. It was so bad. Like it was like they tried to throw every horrible 80s movie stereotype on the wall to see what stuck, and the wall was really sticky. So it all stuck. It was like, oh my God, 3 directors? How can you have 3 directors and no direction? Oh, it was so brutal.
Well, here's the thing. It got sent to post-production for editing, and the cut that we got to see was sent to what's called the editor doctor of Hollywood. So they send him the movie, and he has to take what they've sent him and turn it into a movie. So even though the directors did it, the actual movie that we saw is because of the editor, not because of the directors. And the directors all got fired because they had differences of opinion of, should it be serious? Should it be funny? Should it have more action? Should it end this way or that way? Should it be called Tango and Cash? Because originally it was supposed to be called The Setup, but they thought that was too obvious. So they just kind of, it's really bad when you look on Wikipedia and see everything that went on with this movie. The trailer that you saw in the movie, or for the movie, has all the scenes that ended up getting cut and thrown onto the
Of all the Stallones that Stallone could have played in this movie, why did he play the not the kindergarten cop, the stop or my mom will shoot Stallone? Like, I you know, the Kurt Russell playing Jack. You know Jack.
Jack Burton.
Jack Burton. Kurt Russell playing Jack Burton. He was Jack Burton again in this movie. But Stallone playing his reprising his role in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. It's the worst Stallone that we could possibly have been given. Oh, it was just so bad. Oh my God, so bad. Well, at least the stepdad of Alex from Double Impact, got to make his role with the horrible toupee on it.
I'm glad you pointed that out. It was so bad. I don't know how it didn't fall off when he got tackled.
What'd you think? What'd you think, Isaac?
This was my first time seeing this movie, and oh boy, this was 80s galore, man. Those one-liners, the whole Rambo is a pussy line.
Yeah.
Just every delivery from Stallone was so forced and just so bad. They were all like punchlines. Every time he talked, it was a punchline. Every time they had an exchange with each other, it was a punchline, back and forth. It was just like, geez Louise, these guys won't let up. I could see why they had so many people chopping this movie up, because they couldn't figure out what the hell to do with it. Was it enjoyable? It had its moments. It had the boobies here and there. Terry Hatcher was so hot. I forgot how hot she was. What we got now.
The important word was there.
That's what I said.
Yeah, dude. I think.
Wait, no,
Go
man,
for it,
I don't have
Liz.
any questions for this, so you go and do your thing, because
Right on. I was just gonna say, I think we're touching on how there was like 3 directors, and I think the real director of this thing was what's his fucking face? What's his name? John Peters, the producer of the Superman with Nicolas Cage fame. He came up with this idea for the movie, the setup or whatever, and he was very involved, very like pushing for his ideas, and apparently he was just an absolute nightmare to work with on the set. And the original director was actually really pushing for this to be kind of a mockery almost of the genre of buddy cop films, and really like turn it on its head and really like, you know, show kind of how foolish it is. But Peters just kept going and going and going and ramping up the absurdity, and so I think that's kind of why there's so much disjointed feeling in the movie, and why, like, dude, as things go, they just get wilder and wilder. It's so weird. It's such a weird movie, and it's just like you guys were saying, like, it's like everything that's ever been like an 80s action movie is like splat. And it's like, dude, every line is one-liner. Everything is just absurd. The best part about this movie is that kickin' soundtrack. That thing is freaking awesome.
Amadeus.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go burn like a CD and get that in the car, because that thing kicks.
Dr. Zayas. Dr. Zayas.
That's right. Oh my
That's
God.
all I kept hearing every time that damn music would come on.
Whenever I hear that song, I hear they did their parody of Wilford Brimley singing Diabetes, and it was diabetes. So whenever I hear Amadeus, I hear Diabetes, and it's Wilford Brimley. Check your blood pressure. Check it often.
Yeah, were those stunt butts for them, or did they were those are actual?
So many butts, dude. Oh man.
But
I
love it.
yeah. I don't know, man.
And then Kurt Russell in drag. Jeez Louise.
He
Right.
he went on an interview and said, I've something to the effect of I've done a lot of stupid things on film, but never something this stupid on purpose. I was like, oh dang. Oh yeah. That should I think that should tell you how he feels about that movie.
But did he or did he not have like the most powerful mullet of all the 80s in this movie?
Man.
Oh yeah, him and Mel Gibson. I mean, there's like a tie right there for the mullets.
No, Kurt Russell wins that one. He's got like body to it. Mel Gibson's in that body was all frizzy.
Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse mullet was pretty powerful too.
Well,
Pretty strong.
that's a good segue because actually, Patrick Swayze was originally cast as Kurt Russell's character for this movie.
That's Gabriel Cash, by the way. Was
But
Kurt Russell's
he had to bail out to do Roadhouse instead.
But he just kept the hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Roadhouse.
It's like, oh, there you go. All right, Josh. I know you're gonna have to sleep on the couch for your like of this movie, but tell us why you love this movie.
Well, it's been referenced.
Why this is a leg of 10 for you?
It's been referenced many times already in the comments, but this movie being the second to last film to close out the 1980s is peak 1980s. It's everything that was good and bad about the 80s in a single film. The soundtrack was amazing. I had to go onto YouTube and find
He
it to
started
play
playing it.
the music later, like some of the
Yeah.
songs. I'm like, what is this song? It's like so terrible and so wonderful all at the same time. The song that like closed out the movie. Yeah, having Kurt Russell in drag, having Stallone play this Poindexter guy and whose catchphrase at the beginning is Rambo is a pussy. It's so absurd.
How about that gun he carries?
Yeah, and he stops a big rig full of cocaine with a tiny little pea shooter like that. It's so gnarly.
Snub
and stupid.
Nose 38.
Yeah, and I couldn't help, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this too, but watching this movie, I got the feeling that whoever did the first 5 minutes of the movie, the other guys, the scenes with Samuel Jackson and The Rock, I think he took his cues from this movie. They probably saw Tango and Cash and they're like, you know what, we're going to open this film with like a Tango and Cash style thing. That's kind of the impression I got for it. But in order to redeem myself, I must admit that when we get to the end of the film with the big action sequence where they invade Jack Palance's lair with their turbo truck that kind of comes out of nowhere, this big action set piece, and I fell asleep through that part.
Hey, that's where I fell asleep.
I woke up and
I
Liz
did
is like,
too.
"Oh, did you see?"
Asleep at that part. Is that like a lullaby?
I
'Cause
fell
thought-
asleep
Yeah.
there too. I woke up when the
Yeah.
music came on at the end. I had to wake up
woke
and
up-
rewind it.
Yeah, the movie ended. I was like, what the hell? I was watching that movie, but I'm out.
Yeah, Liz says, "Oh, there's like a scene with them in like a maze of mirrors or something." I'm like, "There was?" I didn't see any of that stuff. I remember them driving in, and I remember vaguely that they switched into like these big earth mover machines, and then the music started playing, and that's all I got.
Yeah, I had to tell him how it ended.
Yeah, but at the end, of course, Gabriel Cash and Ray Tango end up being the heroes of the film. So
And
Even
they
do
finally
their high
completed the high
five.
five.
Oh, I know.
yes.
Their Predator high five.
that's super gay high five, like, hey. It was so awful. I'm just like, this is you have to imagine that they were doing it self-referentially, but then I saw an interview with Stallone and
Kurt Russell.
thank you, Kurt Russell. And it was done during the filming of this thing. And they're talking about it like it's a serious deal. So
That shower scene, was that shower scene a serious deal when they're joking about dropping the soap with each other and cracking jokes about each other's dicks?
Yeah.
That was so horrible.
What are you doing down there? I don't know you that well. I don't know you that well.
Yeah, Pee-wee.
Come on, Pee-wee. All right, Minnie Mouse. I was mad at him for working for Disney as a child.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
so,
this was a rough one.
It's a love-hate relationship. Love-hate relationship.
I remember growing up
Well-
on TV. This was the TV movie that was always on, and I never caught it. But I remember 90s. It was
All right,
always
so
on. Tango
my-
and Cash.
My secret shame on this is that I actually think I owned the movie poster for this movie when it came out. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I vaguely remember having a picture or something, but I think it was Kurt Russell. It wasn't.
It wasn't something where like
Russell.
Stallone is like doing this
No.
like serious thing, and then the other
was-
guy's like,
No, it was Kurt Russell with his gun with this big old sight, laser pointer, like sight on it.
not with his gun
Scene.
boots.
No, not with his gun boots. Yeah, so I must have liked this movie 30 years ago. But yeah, not so much now. All right, so let's do the buckets. Nate, bucket me.
Oh man, this was rough. It was rough. I fell asleep only once, but man, I had two buckets. You get one bucket for boobies and one bucket for the other scene with boobies. Two buckets.
That's fair. I think buckets.
Buckets. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Nate on that one. It goes for the booby scenes and Terry Hatcher, a young, beautiful Terry Hatcher, in that
There
dance.
you go.
I was thinking that I was gonna come to her dropping top, but never happened.
Has she ever been naked in any of her shows?
I don't know, probably.
I don't think
Yes.
she's ever been naked ever. I heard she showers in her shorts.
All right, Lego. How many buckets?
For fun factor, this has got to be a 10. Yeah.
Sometimes I
If
think
you
you
are-
great.
He's bringing it back, people.
Just to like, oh my god.
He's finally recovered from the M. Night Shyamalan.
taking him like half a year to finally recover. And he recovered on Tango Cash.
I'm addicted to 10s. What can I say? No, this one's probably, I don't know, if we're going like critical, like real, it's so hard to say because it's such a mess, but it's so beautifully 80s. And there's just like, even the story of just like massive production problems and all that kind of makes it seem like it just adds to it, you know? It just makes it better in my like mind. Almost no like legacy to it. So realistically, like if we're going off Nate's bucket system, it's probably like a 4, you know, but fun factor 10. If you want to watch a bad 80s movie, if you want to get drunk with your buddies and just every line is a joke. Every line is a joke. Like, come on. It's a funny, fun movie. So, I don't know. I give it a 10 for the fun and a 4 for, you know, the critics.
Or for reality.
All right.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with 3 buckets on this. I think we have to respect it for the fact that it was peak 80s. I think we have to respect the soundtrack, and I still appreciate the fact that we get to see We get to see Kurt Russell doing what he always does, and Stallone trying to show that he's an actor. So it's, you know, it's got a little broad spectrum appeal there.
I am giving this the same amount that I gave Double Impact because this movie's garbage to me. I can't do it. You get one for Tango and one for Cash, so you get two. That's it. You don't get any more. You know, I don't know what I was thinking when I was,
So
you know.
which one's better, Double Impact or Tango and Cash?
When I was 14 years old and saw this, I thought this was great. No, they're the same movie. it's just, you know, I can't do this one. I'm sorry. Usually I try to be pretty upbeat about things. No, this one got me. This is the one that broke me. I thought it was gonna be Double Impact, but no, it's Tango and Cash. It's another one of those funny, silly, ridiculous.
Was Double Impact your last one?
Huh?
Was
No,
Double
it was
Impact your
my-
last one?
Was my last one.
That's right.
Yeah, Josh
You actually
screwed me
wanted
over
it.
with Double Impact. So,
That's
all
right.
right. Well, there's our fun-filled review of a much-loved 80s classic buddy comedy, Tango and Cash. I hope you can go see it. I think it's free on HBO Max.
It ought to be.
That's the only time I'm gonna plug it because it's free. So you know, you got the time. Go ahead and watch. And we are going to be passing the baton on to Nate, I believe, for our next round of fun. So take it away, Nate.
Yeah, we're going to be doing sequels of movies we've already watched on this show. So get excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited. We've done a bunch of fun. Guys, there's no. Oh, okay. I'm supposed to close it out. I forgot. Okay, so for late to the party, I'm Liz.
Josh.
And that's
I'm
Nate, and Isaac, and Jason.
See y'all next week.